Hello everybody, my name is Benjamin Bloom and we are here again for a championship review. What a week it's been. 3 game weeks. They always stress me out a little bit. Lots and lots of content, but lots of fun to be had as always in the championship, and lots of fun at Bramall Lane. Sheffield United going back to the top of the table. Just when you thought that Chris Wilder couldn't get any more attacking, McGoldrick, Clark and Sharp up front at home to Wigan. They run in 4-2 winners. The ever marauding Basham forces an own goal from Dunkley. Lovely equaliser from Wigan actually, that was very well worked. And then Billy Sharp takes over and bangs in a hat-trick. All penalty box finishes by him. Great striker. Joe Garner, one of my favourite players, pulls one back on the volley for Wigan. Sheffield United may not have the players of West Brom or Borough or Leeds, but you look at it this season, and I keep saying how it's up for grabs. No one's out there putting 2 points per game on the board. If they can keep their well-practiced system and this brave style of football going, can they stay up there? Certainly going to be an interesting watch there. Wigan down to 14th, 7th defeat out of 8 on the road. Not good for them. If their home form drops off, they are going into the bottom third of the table very, very quickly. I said home win. Correct, 1 out of 1. Leeds 1, Forest 1. Leeds drop off the top. They'd gone there on Wednesday. And a highly dubious equaliser here from Kemar Roof. Smashed across by Klitsch, and he goes down to header it, and just instinct, I guess, sticks his arm out, buffs it in with his arm, but nobody knows. It all happens so quickly and the officials do not see it. I guess it was probably already going in, but that doesn't matter. Clear handball there. Robinson had given Forest the lead from a corner. Set plays, people, set plays. These teams both seem a little bit short of putting a run together that's going to put them in the top 2. They both put together 3-4 games and then drop off a little bit. So whether this is a 3rd place to 8th place for these 2 teams or top 2, who knows. Good stuff though from Forest to get the away point. Forest, they get to the international break. Home games against Sheffield United and Stoke. Leeds, Wigan, who we know are good at home, and West Brom also travelling there for Leeds. So difficult for both teams, but every time we see it, we think, oh, difficult run for that team. Then they go and win, and someone else drops off and draws at Rotherham at home or what have you. I said draw in this game. I was correct. 2 out of 2. My God, this is going well this week. Borough 1, Derby 1. Borough into 3rd place, Derby to 6th. It looked like Derby were going to complete this brilliant 3-game week they've had, beaten Sheffield United, smashed West Brom away, and then to go away to Middlesbrough. I was really worried about them at the start of the week. I thought they could be about 10 places lower than they are now. So brilliant week for Derby. They take the lead through a friend-owned goal, and from what I heard on the radio travelling down to Millwall, they really could have been out of sight at half-time. This really fast, attacking, flowing football from the likes of Marriott, Lawrence, Mount, Wilson up the front there has really started to catch the eye now. But this is Tony Pulis you're up against, and it's an own goal from Bogle, horrible one actually, on 84 minutes to rescue the point for Middlesbrough. So I think Derby have turned into, oh, there's Frank Lampard. This is an interesting story to, hang on a minute, these are actually pretty good. Excuse me. So I think 7 points in a week for Derby, great return. And I think certainly in my head and a lot of people's head, I think we're all going to be taking them a little bit more seriously now than we were. In terms of Borough, they've had a little drop off, but this is Pulis, a little drop off for Borough. They've still got 9 points from the last 6. They're still in there, but it's the age-old Pulis argument of, are you too pragmatic and you know, over the course of the season, could the same players be winning games, you know, and picking up points in a more, what's the word, ambitious way? That said, they're not going to be far away. It's just whether they're attacking enough to get that first or second place. But certainly Pulis will have them in the top 6. It just remains to be seen as to how they are at the attacking end rather than the defensive end. I said home win. I thought Pulis was going to pull one out there, but he didn't, so I was wrong about that one. Norwich 1, Brentford 0, and well done to Norwich. The second time this season they've done a 9-point week. Back in the middle of September, I think they beat Borough and Reading and somebody else, I can't remember who. But the second 9-point week for Norwich, which is fantastic from them. A lovely goal by Buendia. Long ball over the top, and he controls the finish with the outside of his right foot. Great goal, that. Rhodes misses another penalty. I know he missed one earlier in the season against West Brom, I'm thinking. And then Mopai, we saw him do this away at Cardiff last year. Criminal own goal missing there, hits the crossbar in the second half for Reading. Norwich up to 4th. Brentford are statistically the worst team in the league over the past 6 games. It's looking really good for Norwich now, though. If they get through the next 3 games in good nick, say 5 points, even 4 points, even win, draw, loss, they then have Hull, Rotherham and Bolton in a row. So if I was a Norwich fan, I might be starting to get excited if this current form stays. They could be looking very, very good up the top there. Brentford need a win, but they've got 2 London derbies coming up, Millwall and QPR. Interesting times for them and their new manager, Thomas Frank, who has not got a single point yet. I said home win. I was correct. 3rd one right for me. West Brom 1. Blackburn 1. West Brom into 5th now. Bad week for them. 1 point out of 9. Dawson gives them the lead from a corner. Set plays, people. Championship set plays. Great equaliser from Reed. Curls that one in with the right foot from outside the box. Looked like both teams missed some chances in the second half. Still only 3 defeats for Blackburn. Surely for Blackburn this season, anything in that upper third, that upper half of the middle third, so 8th to 12th place would be a good finish. Anything higher than that would be amazing for them. A lot depends on the whereabouts of Bradley Dack after January, as we've mentioned here before. West Brom, they're staying in that group of challengers, but again, nobody wants to take 2 points a game and shoot off into the distance. And we thought it was going to be them, but we've also thought it was going to be Leeds. We thought it was going to be Brentford. We thought it was going to be Borough. And now Sheffield United having a go. So nobody wants to do this yet. Let's see if West Brom can come back. I said home win. Obviously it was 1-1. I was wrong. Swansea 2. Reading 0. Swansea back up to 8th position, just outside of the playoffs. McBurnie with a double there. He's got 6 now this season. I still think he's not a striker. So we'll see what happens when, God, what's his name? Boney comes back in for Swansea, whether McBurnie can come back and not have that burden. Really interested in James, the left winger. He was excellent when I saw Swansea play Ipswich, and he won the penalty for the first goal and lovely assist for the second one. So he looks in nice form. Reading stay down in the bottom 3. Looks like they're part of this bottom 5 that's now really clearly crystallised in Ipswich, Hull, Reading, Rotherham, and we expect Bolton to possibly slip down in there. That looks like the challenge down at the bottom there for Reading. 1 win in 6 for them. I said home win. I was correct. 4 correct for me this week. Love it. Birmingham 3. Sheffield Wednesday 1. Birmingham are brilliant at the moment. Best team in the league statistically. 14 points in their last 6 games. Another win. 4 wins in a row, no less. They're up to 9th. Fletcher did give Wednesday the lead. Set plays, everybody. Championship, my God, every single game. Mahoney with a lovely equaliser on the right foot from him. And then this front two. Maybe by the end of the season, a lot of the Championship teams are going to go back to front twos. You know how these things all trend, and once enough teams are doing it, everyone switches back to those formations. We're starting to see a few front twos now, and this is the best one. Jutkiewicz and Adams, they both score in the last 10 minutes to give Birmingham the win. 13 goals and 5 assists between the two of those. 11 goals by Jutkiewicz and Adams in the last 7 games. Surely it's worth playing a front two if they're going to get, what is that, nearly 1.5 goals every game between them. That gives you a good start, doesn't it? As for Sheffield Wednesday, 3 defeats on the trot, 1 win in 6. They were in the playoffs, I think, at the start of the week, and now they're 15th. The Championship, everybody. There you go. I said home win. Correct again. 5 right already. Brilliant. QPR 1, Villa 0. Rangers win again. Villa lose again. Voslek with the only goal. Lovely barring in there. Love to see that. Steve is in a lovely run. 13 points in 5 games. Excellent work. They would have surpassed Birmingham if they hadn't lost the 6th of those games in the form stakes there. Villa not yet kicked in under Dean Smith. He claimed that on another day they would have won that. 67% possession and 18 shots gets him 0 goals, and very Brentford that. We said if Smith can do what he did at Brentford with perhaps slightly better players that he's got at Villa, this will be looking really good. Hasn't happened yet, and QPR were there to take advantage. I will be at Villa versus Bolton on Friday to see Dean Smith's team, him managing that team for the first time. So I'm looking forward to that. I said draw. I was wrong on that one. Bristol City 0, Stoke 1. Bristol City ended in 11th, Stoke in 13th. And what happened to my Lee Johnson streak here? 2 wins and it's over. Shame. Apparently the power of a Gary Rowett clean sheet away win surpasses the power of a Lee Johnson streak there in Pokemon card type speak. Saw Stoke for the first time on Tuesday. Typical Rowett team, but the midfield pair of Woods and Allen, that's right up my street. They should be keeping that ball all day long in the Championship. It's the other midfielder though. Darren Fletcher puts in the winner on the left foot on the volley on 33 minutes. Both teams in the middle of the table. I would suggest Stoke with more likely aspirations to be moving upwards into the top 8 there than Bristol City. We'll see how it pans out. I said draw. I was wrong. Excuse me. Millwall 3, Ipswich 0. Oh goodness me. I was at this game. It was horrible. Millwall scored from a corner, then a long throw, and then the Ipswich captain and the player of the year bash into each other to give them the third goal. Chastening stuff from Ipswich now. Paul Hurst obviously fired on Thursday. Paul Lambert was in watching this one, so let's hope from an Ipswich point of view it's a gimme. Clean slate on Monday. Training starts and you have basically a 31, have we played 15 now? Yeah, 31 game season to try and score as many points as you can and try and get out of that bottom 3. In terms of Millwall, they're picking up nicely. Looked a little bit more direct than they did last year, but Gregory excellent up front, poached his 2 goals nicely. Millwall up to 18th. They won't be in the in that bottom period. To be honest, I think those 5 teams I mentioned previously in the video are gonna, they're gonna stay where they are. So good work for Millwall. I said home win, and I was correct. 6-1 right. Big win for Hull. Bolton 0, Hull 1. Fraser Campbell gets the goal early on. Hull go on and collect the 3 points. Their first win in 8, and it keeps them in touch with safety. So important there. Bolton, they're still using up the credit of that first 4 games. I think they got 10 points from the first 4 games. They had a brilliant start, but since then, 1 win in 11. And although they haven't yet, I can really see them joining that bottom 5 as Millwall and Preston start to move up. They need to accumulate points, and they don't need to be losing at home to Hull. I said home win. I thought Bolton would have had enough. They did not. Last one here, excuse me. Preston 1, Rotherham 1. Disappointing one for Preston, this one. Rotherham, 2 useful away points this year. They hold back Preston's surge. Barkhausen scores from a set play, you guessed it. Big Smith with the goal for Rotherham for the equaliser. Rotherham have started picking up some draws, probably too many. They were going through a phase of getting good home wins and losing every week away. That's actually worth more to you than drawing all over the place, because we know 3 points in one game is far more use to you than 3 points over 3 games. You know, you can do a lot more with the time, let's just say. It's a big problem there for Rotherham. If they can start getting those home wins again and picking up away draws, and God forbid the odd away win when they can, then they'll be looking all right. But their trajectory is kind of around the edge of that box or downwards to the edge of that relegation line. So we'll see. Preston on a reasonable surge, and they go to Ipswich next week for Paul Lambert's first game. Big one there, God help me. I said home win. I was wrong. So look, 6 correct. That equals my best. Hopefully I'll get 7 at some point this season. Remember, this is still really figuring itself out, this league. And I have to say, in terms of the predictions, all these teams at the top, none of them wanting to shoot away and you know, go into the distance and have a good run. Makes it harder with the predictions. As we said, Brentford had a go, Leeds had a go, Borough had a go, Sheffield United are now having a go. Who wants to take it and hit that 2 points per game mark? Because no one able to do it yet. As we said, down the bottom looks a lot clearer, and I think you'd say at a higher level it's the games against each other. But you know what the Championship's like? It always happens where 22nd beats 4th place away and weird stuff like that. So it's not quite that clear cut down there, but certainly seems to be figuring itself out at the bottom a lot more than the top. Looking forward to next week. Only the single game week next week, so managers have a chance to bed things down. New managers obviously at Aston Villa and at my team Ipswich there. Interesting times. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please do get involved if you support one of these teams I've spoken about. If you agree with me, give us a comment. If you disagree, again, get involved. Just please be civil. We're all grown adults. I know YouTube can be a bit of a cesspool when you read in the comments sometimes, so let's not make this channel that way. We've got some really good commenters on here already. If you enjoy the content, thumb up, like I've said, comment. Best thing possible, give us a subscribe. We've had brilliant figures this past week with lots of people subscribing, so I'm really so pleased about that, and want to try and make a go at this channel. So the more people subscribe and get involved, the better. Follow me on Twitter at Benjamin Bloom. I will be at Aston Villa Bolton on Friday. I'm not going to be at the Ipswich game on Saturday. Week off for me there, so just advance warning if you're expecting a video from there. You will get, though, on this channel, the Blue Monday podcast tonight, all things Ipswich. Hopefully this week in ITFC history also. Bit more niche, that one, let's just say. Then we'll be back for the broader Championship preview show. Then I'll have a review from Villa on Friday, and then a full Championship review on Sunday. Over and out. Thank you for watching. See you soon.